Well, good evening, everyone. Very nice to see everyone here tonight. Thank you for joining our call and welcome to the team. I'm truly excited that you guys are all here, and I want you to know that this decision can be a turning point for you in your life. It sure was for me and my wife, and I hope that we can assist in making it the same for you. One quick ask before we get started: if you guys would do me a massive favor, like Jane and Usario and Lucia and Ivana, if you guys could just turn your cameras on, it just makes the experience a lot better for me to look around and see faces, and then when I meet you in the future, I can put a face with a name. It's just a lot better. That's why we do the Zoom call, so we can see people's faces and actually connect. Being that we're all over the world, it's a little harder to connect. So thank you guys for turning those cameras on for me. I really appreciate it. So nice to see you, Veronica and Anna and Laura. Thank you so much, and Alma for joining tonight. So excuse me. Um, First and foremost, you guys, I'm just happy to be here with you and be building something with some very amazing people. And what I want you guys to know is that you guys are not just simply joining some team, some company. You guys are stepping into something a lot bigger than that. And this is really a movement. Excuse me. And it became a movement for me when I was at convention. Excuse me, let me go drink water. About a year and a half ago, and I remember David Schmidt was on stage and he was talking about this device that is transformative and changing so many lives. And I remember thinking that this was more than just a device; it was a movement. And right now, we're on the precipice of health and people really understanding, with all the knowledge and all the information online and social media and podcasts, of what we really need to do to kind of extend our lives and live a cleaner life, but not only just live longer, but live healthy. And this device definitely helps with that. And what I thought was, we can educate people on what they need to do every single day in their life, what they need to put in their mouth, and what things they shouldn't be doing to improve their life and extend their life. And when I realized that this thing could maybe take me to 120, 130 years old, and that my kids would be 80 or 90 years old, I mean, that really got me excited about taking care of my wellness. Because I remember when my daughter was born, my second one, and I started doing the math of how old I was going to be when she graduated high school. And then I started thinking that everyone's going to think that I'm her grandfather and not her father. And I don't want to be that grandfather looking person, and I can prevent that from happening. And then this device came out, and I was like, okay, I'm on to something. And what makes this movement powerful is that it spreads through people who decide to show up. And the unique thing about this business is, we're all at our houses or working at, a business office or whatever, tying it into other things that we do. And we kind of forget what this business is and forget about this community. And if you show up and you learn how to lead and learn how to build in this business, you're going to do something that's absolutely amazing and create a residual income for yourself. And that's what's the most beautiful thing. Listen, I don't care what you're doing or what you want to do. Hold on, let me see. Lola's texting me. I'll just make sure. Sorry. I don't care what you do for a living. This is something you could tie into, and this is something that could pay you for a very long time. And the only thing you could control in your life is multiple streams of income. So this is just another stream of income that you can add to other things that is going to help a lot of people, and it's going to help your family. So let's start with what matters most about this business. And let's say not just about the business, but let's say about life in general. And that's this: what goes on between your ears. It's the most important thing. Because there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and there's going to be days that you're going to think, this is not going to work. There's going to be days you're going to think this is the best thing ever. And this is what you have to control. And the way that you show up for this business is going to determine how fast you build momentum and how far that you truly can go. The crazy thing about this business, and the coolest thing, is you're an entrepreneur now. When you signed up for a product pack, you became an entrepreneur, meaning you could start an LLC, you can write off everything in this business, any meals that you have, any travel that you have, you go on a company trip, you can write off all that stuff. But what's really important is that means you're building something real, something with a real purpose. You got to treat this like a real business. And what I mean by that is you got to treat it with seriousness, consistency, and heart. Now, we've got a system that you guys could plug into. And it's not like you got to spend 8 hours a day on this business. But what I'm going to teach you tonight, you got to spend 15 to 20 minutes a day building this business and talking to people. But one of the biggest keys right now in the beginning, because this is an onboarding call, or if you've been here a year, you got to continue to learn. But it's learning. We have incredible resources for you guys. And I want you to use them. We built them, we invested in them because we understand that knowledge creates confidence, and confidence will create momentum. That's why we have our 20-day onboarding system. Once you get the confidence and know what you're talking about and how to talk about it, that's going to create momentum in your business. So I want to show you really quick, before I get into this, what you guys have available to you that you guys can use, okay? So a lot of teams and a lot of organizations don't have this. We didn't have this with the other companies that we worked for. That's why we created this, because we knew that we needed something for people to be able to use. And so let me just share this with you real quick. This is our website, you guys. And Justin and Evelyn can put this in the chat. But our website is wellnessrev.org, okay? www.wellnessrev.org. And this is your hub to learn and use as a resource for everything. I'm going to go through a few of the tabs real quick, okay? But this is our team. This is our leadership team that you will see doing all these calls. That we've got over 100 years of experience on our team. We have some really, really successful people on our team that are doing this. But this onboarding tab is a really important tab. A lot of stuff I'm going to talk about tonight is going to be on this website in short 1 to 2 minute videos, so you can go back and you don't have to listen to a 45-minute or an hour call. What I'm going to teach tonight, a lot of this is in short little bits, but what I want to show you, the first thing on here that's most important. Justin, can you mute whoever is unmuted for me, please, and mute all? Is we have a 20-day onboarding system, okay? And you're just going to go to onboarding and you're going to click on day one, your first day in the business. Now, if you've been in the business for a while, like I have, what I recommend doing is going through this 20 days, one day at a time, so that you know what you're plugging your team into, and maybe there's some stuff on here you don't know about. And so the way this is set up is spend 10 to 15 minutes a day for 20 days. You're going to click on this link and it's going to take you to a video. You're going to click on this link, it's going to explain the 20-day launch system of what you're actually into, right? It's a 1 minute and 32 long video. And then you're going to go back out of there and go back into our website, okay? And you're going to do that. Those 4 or 5 videos will take you 10 to 15 minutes a day, okay? So what we want you guys to do is everyone that starts, plug them in here, because that way you're not the resource. This website is the resource. And if people have questions, they can call you. The other thing on here is the 8-step launch plan, okay? This is just the things that you need to do in your business. I wrote a book on this. This is just how you could set up your business and having everything correct, like your list of 52, know your why, commit to 3 to 5 years. All the things that are important. These are all very, very short videos that you can watch in no time, okay? They're all incorporated in the 20-day onboarding system. But if you want to go through here and watch them all together, you can do that. Also, we have a school platform. All this is a training platform, you guys. You're just going to go in here, you're going to click on join on school. Also, the first day you're going to join school. On day one, it gives you the link to join school as well. You can't miss this. But this is all the training that's in the back office, compliance, compensation, presentation, I decide, setting up an LLC, which is what we did. I'll tell you about that later. This is Success Psyche. This is a book that I wrote, but there's about 130 videos in here on my book. It's free. I used to charge a lot of money for this course, and I just implemented it into this for everyone that's a member of this organization, the Wellness Revolution. You guys have it for free. So you can just click on this, and you can see there's a bunch of videos in here that you guys can go in and learn my playbook, exactly what I did to build success in my life, okay? So that is our school system. We have our comp plan in here, which has like 9 videos that are 1 to 2 minutes long. You can go through those. Our community tab, we have an event coming up April 17th through the 19th in Destin, Florida. You can go in here and get your tickets there. You can also finance them. You can do a 4-pay. This also has all of our rank ups, so we recognize people that have ranked up. These are all the people that have ranked up in the organization, as well as we have our brand partner of the month in here as well as our book club. We have a book club every Wednesday. We meet at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We read 15 pages of a book 5 days a week, and we just get in there and we discuss all kinds of books. This book right here, you guys, for our business, is one of my favorite books, The Fine Art of Small Talk. It teaches you how to get into conversations with people, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but it's a great book. We have testimonials in here, If you have a testimonial that you would like to share, Spanish or English, reach out to Justin or Evelyn. We'd like to get those to you because the more we have on here, we can direct customers to this and they can hear people's testimonials about this patch. As well as our wellness regimen. This is what I do every day. These are the little supplements that I take. And then this is a really important tab, you guys, a resource tab. This has all of our resources on it. So if you want to do an opportunity call, you could just click on this button right here and download the PowerPoint, and you're into the presentation. So you can go on your phone, you can go on your computer, whatever it is, but it's right here. You can even download it to your computer as well. Okay, so the resource tab has everything and anything that you would need. Go through these and look at all these tabs. I mean, we have how to handle objections, 60-day follow-up message templates, anything and everything. Just go through here and see this. This is all compliant. This is all ran through the company. So everything you see on here is completely compliant. Use this website, you guys. We spent a lot of time, effort, and energy doing this. So we want you to use this, all right? The other thing I want you guys to do, it's really important, is to try to commit to weekly training. I know when I started, I know nothing about this business. In my uplines, I listened to opportunity calls. I listened to these onboarding calls every single week until I understood and know how to do it myself. Now, the great thing about being a part of the Wellness Revolution is we do everything for you. We want you to focus on building your business and plugging people into this system. Everything in business that has success has a system, but at least when you're out talking to somebody about it and getting them into business, you know how to talk about it. You can talk about the resources. You can talk about everything that we have, because people are going to be like, I've never heard of that before. I haven't had that in another company that I had, or I've never had that in my life. So we want to give people that fast start and ability to learn this business so that they can have success quick, okay? So commit to the weekly trainings. Make sure you get your team on the weekly trainings. Make sure you're sharing the links with them so that they're showing up, because they see this community, and the more that they see this community and the more that they learn, the more success they're going to have. But I understand, life gets in the way, and you're going to miss a live call. You got kids, you got games, you got practices, you got vacation, you got travel. That's okay. They're all recorded. We send them out the very next day. When you're in the gym, when you're going to the bathroom, whatever, just listen to the call, because repetition is going to help you be able to get really, really good at this business, all right? Every training, you guys, is a step forward. Every call is going to build your skill, it's going to build your belief, it's going to build your certainty, and it's going to build your confidence. And that's what's important in any business, is to have confidence. The second thing other than confidence is having belief. They got to go together. Belief is absolutely everything, you guys. This is not just another supplement. It's not just another gadget. This is technology. This is a device that can truly change lives. The reason I'm here is shortly after I got in this business, a young lady shared her story with me, what happened with her little boy that had autism and her little boy that couldn't swallow food. And in that moment, I knew this was my social responsibility to share this with the world. And I knew that this was going to change a lot of people's lives. I believe that. I have that conviction. I have that passion. And when you believe that, and when you believe it as deep as I, sharing becomes such a natural, passionate, contagious thing. There's no one that I talk about this device that I'm not completely passionate about. I've reached out to people. I saw a couple stories this weekend about their kids having autism. I've reached out to them to have a conversation with them. And they're desperate because they're trying everything. And we have something that can help people. The coolest thing about what I'm talking about, you guys, is you're not doing this alone. We've created a proven system. You don't have to reinvent anything. You just have to follow what works. Invite people to the opportunity calls, you guys. We have them on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. We have them on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. And we have them on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Just invite people in. When you invite people, just say, hey, I'd like to get your opinion on this. My partner and I are having a call. I'd love to see what your opinion is of this. Invite people to the opportunity calls. And also go on the opportunity calls so you can hear Sarah is amazing. Kendall's amazing. Kyle's amazing. Hear different people, the way that they present it. I mean, we have the same presentation, but different people talk about it differently. And then whatever speaks to you, use that. But I want you guys to lean on the team. And I want to build this with you guys. All right? So right now I'm going to share with you the back office, okay? All of this training that I'm going to go through is in our back office, okay? It is on our website, right? We have all these videos. Everything I'm going to show you, they're in 1 to 2 minute videos. But I'm going to show you really quickly because this call is intended for people that have been in the business that maybe have never seen this, or also for people that just started. So I want to give you kind of a head start in the back office of LifeWave. So let me share this with you guys real quick. So this is LifeWave. Let me just, so I'm already logged in. Okay, let me just sign out. Okay, so whenever you go to lifewave.com, for the people that are new, you're just gonna put your username and ID in and you're gonna log in, okay? And the first thing that you're gonna see up top, you have to have your own email address, is your name, okay? Ours is the Wellness Revolution because I have an LLC set up. In our back office, we have training on why you should set up an LLC, the tax advantages, what you can write off, how you can do that, where you can go to do that. But ours is set up as an LLC, okay? But this is where you're gonna go first when you log in, okay? You're gonna click on that and you're gonna go to change settings. Very first thing you're gonna do, because we wanna set up your back office, okay? So you can see over here to the side, these account settings, profile, address, payment methods, all of these things over here. You wanna go in here and edit all of these things, okay? Make sure that you go in and set all of this up. That's the first thing that you're gonna do, okay? The second thing I wanna show you on here is where you find to put your people in your organization. It's a binary system, okay? And that binary system is a left and a right. And so you have to build an equal organization. So that means you gotta put the equal amount of people on your left and the equal amount of people on your right, especially when it comes to volume. Every time you sign someone up, you want to make sure that this has changed. So if you just put someone on your left, you want to come in here and put it to your right. And you see, it's saying it's been updated. It's very, very simple. When you sign someone up on your right, you want to come back in here and put it back to your left. Bam, it switched back to the left, okay? That's very, very important to know. Now, if you forget to change it, and you're like, oh crap, I need that person on my right, you can call customer service within 5 days and they will change it and put it on the right leg. After 5 days, they're not going to change that for you, okay? So the next thing that I want to show you guys is your monthly subscription, okay? This is really, really important, okay? When you signed up, if you did not sign up for a monthly subscription, you need to do that because you want to stay active. So in order to see if you signed up for a subscription order, just go to monthly subscription order. This is going to tell you what your monthly subscription orders are right here, okay? If it's 0, then you need to go over here to your store and go to patches, and then you're gonna select the LifeWave patches, okay? The X39 LifeWave patches. And then you're gonna go down here and say add to monthly subscription order, okay? Now, it's saying it's been added to your auto order. That's not true. You gotta go check out. So you gotta go to the cart and hit checkout, okay? Then it's gonna take you through a process of where you put your information in and check out. Once you check out, go back to monthly subscription orders and look at that monthly subscription order to make sure that it took. Now, if you signed up 2 weeks ago, make sure that you just go 29 days from when you signed up so that you don't lose your volume, because it's really important to stay active with that one sleeve of patches so that you can make commissions and get paid. If you go inactive, you lose volume on your binary leg. So you can't binary, that binary is not gonna stack up. If you go inactive, you lose all that volume. So you want to stay active with that one sleeve of patches, okay? Really, really, really important. Now, next important thing is how do I find my enrollment link? You're gonna go to organization and hit enroll new, global enrollment. We enroll all over. You might not have that set up yet. It might just let you right in. And then I'm gonna hit join now. This link right here, you're gonna copy and paste that into notes on your phone. So when someone says, hey, how do I get this? How do I order it? I wanna be a brand partner or I wanna be a customer. You're gonna go into here, copy and paste this and put it in your notes. Now, we have some training on the platform on how to set up boards. All boards is a keyboard that you can set up links that you can WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, message, whoever you want to from your phone. There's some training on technology with ChatGPT and how to use that. There's a lot of training in the school and also on the website for this. But this is how you get your link. For now, copy and paste this, save it to your notes. So when someone says they want your link, then you can send it out to them. Now, if they want to just be a customer, there's a preferred customer program. You're going to click on that right here, and now that's your link. Copy and paste that. That's for your customer link. If someone says they just want to be a customer, you're going to go into that link and copy it and save it and send it to them, okay? So that's how you get your enrollment link, all right? Now, your commissions, another important thing. Your commissions are right here. You're going to click on that. Now, on your home screen, when you go to home, your commissions are going to show up right here, currently what they are right now. The other place that commissions show up is here. You can go in here and click on commissions, and it's going to show you every commission you got for every single thing. So this is the first day of the week. We're at $1,000 so far. This shows me everywhere I've made my commission so far this week, okay? So that's where you find your commissions on the back office, all right? Now, if you want to upgrade your package, let's say you started off as a core and you want to upgrade to advanced, okay? The way you do that is you go to store, and on the bottom of store, under sales tools, you're going to have the option to upgrade package. We're at a premium package already, so you can only upgrade, you can upgrade from core to advanced, advanced plus, and premium, but one time. That's the only time you can do that. But you can go right from core to premium if you want to do that as well. But that's where you're going to do it. It's going to say upgrade package. Click on it. You're going to check out. Very, very, very simple to upgrade your package. And then another tab on here that's good is resources. I always tell people just go into this resource tab and just go through all these, click through these, and watch these videos. It's just information. It's just knowledge. It's going to help you. As well as there's education. Under the education tab, the information there is commissions, the compensation. So there's some documents, there's some videos in there, but we've got a lot of better videos on the Wellness Rev that kind of breaks it down in simple terms. These are a little bit more company compensation that might be a little bit more confusing to you, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is what I think is the most important thing about this business. And that is the hardest part for a lot of people. And I just shared that book with you, How to Start Conversations with Small Talk, right? And most people, when they're not confident in a product or confident in themselves, they struggle to start a conversation with someone because they don't want to get put into a corner. And what I want to do for you tonight is I want to make this very, very simple for you, okay? I want to give you some tools that I use every single day to get into conversations with, I don't care who it is, right? The thing is people think that they have to know a lot about stem cells. They have to know a lot about this device before they have a conversation. And a good friend of mine that's in this business, he does this when he does some coaching out and about. He asks people in the room who has a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, an MD. And when those people raise their hand, he told them that they're going to struggle the most because they're going to overthink this. This is a very, very simple process that I'm going to teach you tonight, okay? Now, I want to talk about first what not to do, okay? Because most people don't fail because this product isn't good. They fail because they don't stay in the conversations, right? They don't know how to start conversations. So what not to do that a lot of people do is overwhelm people within the first few minutes of a conversation about how amazing this product is and how amazing this company is. Like, that is not how you launch into a conversation, all right? You don't lead with this as a network marketing company, a direct sales company, an MLM company. I don't hide it, but I don't launch into that. That's not the first part of the conversation. I don't lead with how amazing the comp plan is and that the company pays 60% of its revenue to the field. I don't launch into that either, right? I used to, but I learned when people would give me a deer in headlights look and be like, yeah, okay, it doesn't work, right? So what works is normal conversation with people and where you create some curiosity, but most important, where you leave people with themselves. Now, this is a lesson that I learned from my grandfather when I was 14 years old, living in Lima, Ohio, a horrible place, the armpit of America, I always tell people. It was just a terrible, terrible weather place, always cloudy, never sunny, always raining, but I could go outside and I could mow. It snowed a lot, so I had an opportunity to shovel sidewalks. I could wash cars because it rained all the time, even though it would rain the next day, people's cars would be dirty. They would like to have their car clean for a day. And so when I was going out and I was hustling, because my dad always told me we didn't have money, when I was out hustling, I wasn't getting as many jobs as I thought I should because I was really good at what I did. And I had a conversation with my grandfather, and I, you know, he was a great salesman. And I said, what am I doing wrong? And he was like, well, tell me what your approach is. And so I told him, and he's like, well, you're leading with yourself. You're telling them how great you are and how good of a job you're going to do. And you're not even getting to know the person and what their needs are. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, you need to leave people with themselves. I was like, how do I do that? And he was like, you know everything about them and they know nothing about you. And when you do that, you immediately create like and trust. And when you create like and trust, now people are willing to listen to you because you've listened to them, and that's what created that like and trust. And how you do that is you have to ask people questions about their family. You have to ask people questions about their hobbies. You have to ask people about their occupation and what they do for a living, because our occupation is our identity. That could be a stay-at-home mom, which is probably the hardest occupation on the planet. But it's still what they do all day long, right? We sleep 8 hours, at least I do. We work at least 8 hours. So that's a big part of our identity. And so when you ask people what they do, but you ask deeper questions, and you are authentically care about what they do, they never really get to talk about it because their wife and their kids don't really care what they do. But when you get into these conversations with people, and this is how I do it, right? When I ask people what they do, the next question I always ask is, how long have you been doing that? Like 10 years. Wow, you must really love it. Tell me one thing you love about it. And this is just creating that conversation, right? It's the art of small talk. And they're like, oh, I love this or that. Most people don't love anything about their job. And they'll tell you that. And then the next question I say, well, if you could just change one thing about what you do, what would it be? Now, all I'm doing is getting knowledge, you guys, because what the mistake that most salespeople make is they have the same sales pitch for everybody. And everyone doesn't have the same needs. They don't have the same pain points. So if you're speaking to somebody with the same conversation and the same delivery, you're going to get lower results. So when I find out what they love about their job and what they would change about their job, now I'm going to tailor my presentation around what speaks to them. Because I've asked so many questions, what's always going to happen is they're going to ask me a question. And that question is, well, what do you do? And then when they ask me that question, I have to have my 30-second commercial ready. And this is what you have to practice. Now, my 30-second commercial isn't your 30-second commercial because our life experience and our family experience and our day-to-day experience is different. So you have to build yours that speaks to them. So this is mine. When someone says, oh, what do you do? I always say, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have several businesses, but the one that I love the most, the one that makes me the most happiest is my stem cell business. And everyone's like, stem cell business? Wow, what is that? Tell me about that. And I'm like, well, this device, and I take it off my neck. I said, this device has changed my life more than anything has ever changed my life before. Have you seen this device? And most people, no. And I'm like, I just changed my face. I'm like, you haven't heard about this? Oh my God, I thought everyone knew about this. This thing has changed my life. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm an athlete. I have no pain in my body whatsoever. I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept. You know what my favorite thing is? I used to do all kinds of pre-workout and energy drinks, all kinds of things to get more energy. I have more energy now, and I don't even drink coffee. I stopped drinking coffee when I started wearing this device. My inflammation is way down in my body. My mental clarity is way better than it was when I was 25 years old with a fresh brain. I put on 15 pounds of muscle because I don't have aches and I can work out in the gym. It's just crazy what this device has done for me. And then I say, do you know what stem cells do? Do you know what their primary focus is? They're to keep you young. And this device is helping me reverse my age. Because between the age of 0 and 30, we lose 50% of our stem cells. And between the age of 30 and 60, 95% of our stem cells are dormant. That's why we see 6-year-olds super decline. And by then, that 1 minute and 30-second explanation of what I just said, people say, oh my God, how do I get that thing? I'm like, oh, that's the easiest part. One of 4 ways. You could buy it retail for $150 a month, which is about $5 a day, less than still a Starbucks cup of coffee. But nobody really does that because I can get it to you for wholesale for $99 a month, which is about $3 a day. Or I can also show you how you can get it for free. We have a referral system. If you refer 2 other people besides yourself in, and I can get the device for you for free. You don't have to pay for it. Or what I chose to do, once I figured out how many people this was impacting, I became an affiliate with the company and they compensate me for sharing this device. Which one sounds most appealing to you? And I let them choose, right? My grandfather always said, give people choices. When I shoveled walks, I can do this, this, or this. This is how much this costs, this costs, this costs. If you tell people one thing, they don't choose. What they choose is yes or no. When you give somebody 4 options, they choose one of the 4 options typically. Okay? That's how this thing works. I did this today. Lola was on a call with me from somebody from UK. Same thing, one of 4 ways. She chose at the end to do the core pack because she's going to share the device and then, eventually she's going to build a business. But that's what I do every single time, you guys. That's how I get into conversations. This is with people that I know. This is with people I don't. It's the same. Nothing changes. If I know you, I'm going to say, hey, are you still working at the airport? Are you still at the hospital? Wow, you've been there a long time. The conversation doesn't change, you guys. It never changes. It just gets me into the conversation. Now, if somebody says no, and how you follow up, this is also a key. You got to use your calendar to follow up. And what I mean by that is when you talk to someone, you could push this little side button and put something on your calendar right when you hang up with a note what you talked about in 60 days and follow up. But how you follow up is really, really important. How you follow up is not about the device. You follow up what you talked about last time. And then if they bring it up, this is what I always say. Oh, I'm not even sure what I told you back then, but whatever I told you, multiply it times 1,000,000. I mean, it is helping so many people. It has changed my life. Like, I feel amazing. And then let's see what they say. If they say, how do I get it? Then I'm going to go into the same track. That's what I'm telling you guys. All this is on the website. All this training, you can practice this and do this over and over and over. It does not sound like this is the first time I've done this, right? I've done this thousands of times. Now, there's other open-ended questions you can use. Like I use, what do you know about stem cells? I ask people how their energy is day to day. I pay attention to people that are in pain. If they have tape on, if they're limping, or they got something on their foot. I just had a vein surgery on my legs 2 weeks ago. I went to the doctor for a follow-up. When I left there after the vein surgery, there was bruises all over my legs from it. He was like, it's gonna take 6 to 8 weeks for those bruises to heal. I went in 2 weeks later, the bruises are gone. He asked me what I used. He said, what kind of cream did you use? What kind of lotion did you use? I didn't use lotion, I just used these stem cell patches. Like, this thing works. If I see somebody drinking an energy drink, I'm gonna walk up to them, I'm gonna say, you know what's in that thing? You know what you're pouring into your body? If somebody's feeling stuck with their health or their performance, someone says they can't sleep. So, that's the questions that I'm asking people, right? So who do you reach out? Who do you reach out to? Who do you talk to about this? Well, first of all, friends and family are great people to practice on. They're probably going to be the slowest to move, so don't be discouraged by that, okay? Because they know who you are. They're going to wait. They're going to see how it works out. Coworkers, classmates, people that you went to school with, people that you worked with in the past, social media contacts. You should be posting on social media. If you only have 200 followers, you could get 10% of your following, which is 20 people in this business, which will change your life. People already in direct sales. We pay 60% of our revenue to the field. That's 20% higher than the average in the industry. Here's another thing. This is something that I do every day. I did it today. Called a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in years. What I do is I go to my contacts in my phone. Just like this. I go to my contacts, and I play the slot machine game. I just scroll, I scroll, and then I stop. I stopped on Billy White. Haven't talked to this guy in 10 years. But I'm gonna call Billy tomorrow, and I'm gonna say, Billy James. Hey, Billy James, it's Jay Atkins, how are you doing? This is not Billy James, it's Billy White. Oh my God, Billy White, how have you been, my friend? I haven't talked to you in forever. What are you up to? What are you doing these days? Where are you working? Oh, I am the ambassador to Belgium, which I know. I haven't talked to him, but he's the ambassador to Belgium right now. Oh my God, that's amazing. How's that going? What do you love about it? What would you change about it? Then he's gonna say, hey, what are you up to these days? Oh man, you know, still a serial entrepreneur, but my favorite thing I'm working on right now is the stem cell business. Same conversation, you guys. But instead of going through your phone and trying to decide, should I call this person, should I not? Just call them up, act like you're calling somebody else, and just get into a conversation with them. But if you call them and you're like, hey, Bill, I was just calling to share this stem cell patch with you and see how your life was. Like, you know, that's not the way. Now, if you haven't talked to Bill in a while and you want to just call and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, what you up to? You could do that too. But if you haven't talked to him in 15 years, it's like, why do you call me after 15 years? That's why I do the mistake thing, right? So try that method, you guys. Now, I want to share something with you guys that I think is really, really important. And we have this training on the website. And it's called the 2-10-1 approach. Talk to two people. Now, this is conversations, you guys. Conversations that you're having with people. Not a DM, not an email, not a message, not a voicemail. Get in a conversation with two people. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody on your phone. It could be at Target. Could be at a restaurant. Could be wherever you go. But talk to two people every single day. 5 days a week. If you do that, you'll talk to 10 people a week, 40 people a month. If you talk to 10 people a week, on average, you're going to get one brand partner and 2 customers in your business. If you do this for 52 straight weeks, you'll have 52 people in your business. If you can get half of those 52 people to do the same thing and just get talk to 2 people a week, 2 people a day, 10 people a week, you'll have 1,300 people in your business in 18 months. If you duplicate that, you'll take that 1,352 to 35,000 people. That's a $5 million a month business. That's about a $40,000 a week check in 2 years. But it's all about consistency. It's only talking to 2 people every single day. Now, the key is this. 9 people said no, right? If only 1 person a week signs up, 9 people said no. What people focus on is the 9 no's, not the 1 yes. I want you to celebrate the 1 yes. Because if you could do that for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, just talk to 2 people a day, which takes 15 to 20 minutes. If you can do this, you will build a multi-million-dollar residual income business. That's all it takes. It just takes consistency, 2 people a day. Now that training is on the platform. If you do that to start off in 7 weeks, you'll be a 1-star director in this business. You'll hit the 4th rank in the company if you do that. 2 people, 5 days a week, 10, you get 1 and 2 customers in the business, okay? Now, the main objective of this business, you guys, also is to patch people. When you get in a conversation, talking about it's one thing, but you got to get the patch on people. I give people 5 to 10 patches. If they're married, 10. If they're single, 5. That's what I'm giving out to people when I have a conversation and I put the patch on them so that I can show them where to put it, how to drink the water, but you have to get this device on people, all right? When they try it, they believe it. The belief grows in them because they have a transformation. 73% of people within the first 2 days are going to have something and feel something. The conversations get easier. Your confidence will start to rise, all right? So before I go to Q&A, I just want you guys to understand the most important thing is to get people to calls, is to get people inside the wellnessrev.org website so they know that a system exists and they have something that they can utilize and they have a resource to go. And we made this simple, you guys. The comp plan training is simple. It's already broken into a short video in the website. Everything, you guys, on that website, I didn't share this with you guys earlier. Everything on this website is in Spanish and English. You can go up here and hit Spanish, And everything, all videos, all documents, everything is in Spanish. Every single thing. Every video that you see is in Spanish. So it's in Spanish and English. So it's not just English. You can go here. Now, if you open it up on your web browser and you usually browse in Spanish, it's automatically going to go in Spanish on the website. But you can change this on the website for English and Spanish. I just want to make sure you guys understand that, okay? Now, the thing that I want to finish with you guys that's really, really important is the number one most important thing about this business is consistency and discipline. If you can have those and you can talk to 2 people every single day, 5 days a week, then you're going to build a business that in 2 years from now is going to be unbelievable. Now, there's a saying, most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 5. You could do some amazing things in 5 years. You could change your life in 5 years, but more importantly, you could change a lot of people in your past lives from a wellness standpoint, a health standpoint, and a financial standpoint. So what I want to do now is open it up for you guys. Any questions that you have, I know I covered a lot. If you guys have anything like, what objections you're hearing, I can help you overcome those. I can tell you how I overcome them because I've heard them all. Tell me what people are saying, and then I can help you respond so that you feel confident. So I'm going to open it up right now for you guys to ask any questions you have. If there's any questions in the chat in Spanish or English that I need to know, Justin, Lola, you guys can tell me that. But if not, I'm just going to open it up. Let me just make sure you guys can unmute yourself. Let me see. I think you can. So if you guys want to raise your hand or put something in the chat, don't be shy. Can't be shy in this business. Any question that you have, we need to make sure that you ask, because if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it. Any questions? Justin, make sure that they can unmute themselves, please.
Hey Jay, I have a question.
Yes, Daisy.
No,
I think.
Catherine.
Catherine, where are you, Catherine? Okay.
Sorry.
Catherine, you're so good. You are on all these calls. My God, you're so good.
I try. I mean, I'm working at the same time, but I'm listening to make sure. You always learn something from anybody. See, I'm learning something now. I didn't know. Okay, so this book of the month thing, I haven't done it with you guys, and I'm on the website trying to figure out where is the one that you guys are working on now, and like when did you start it? Meaning, like
So
if I were
we,
to
so
log in
we,
on
we're on.
Wednesday, am I
So
behind, weeks behind? How does that
no,
work?
no, you're not weeks behind. And we would love to have your brain in this book, or brain in this book club. Let me pull up the website and I'll share it. Okay, give me a second here. So when you look under, let me go to English.
That way everybody knows where to find it. Because
It's
I went to
under.
resources and there's a bunch of books, but I don't know how to find the one that you're working on
So
now.
it's under community. Okay,
Under
and this is
community.
always going to be the book that we're reading right here. So the fine art of small talk. And I didn't say this, but all the books that are here, there's hundreds of them that we've read in this book club in 6 years. You can go on and buy it directly from Amazon on here. So it's not an affiliate link, but if you want Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was one of my favorite books, you could just hit shop now and it's going to take you right into Amazon and you can buy it right from there. So you don't have to go on searching for it or anything like that. So you can buy
Okay,
it right from the website. And so
sorry, I
this,
missed it. You go to community and then where do you go after that?
so
Because
just
I'm there.
scroll down. So you go to community.
Uh-huh.
And then you just scroll down to the bottom, and this is our book
Oh,
club right here. So you see book club?
oh, at the very end.
And
Okay.
so this is the book of the month. We always update whatever book we're reading right here. And then you can also go to our Facebook page, the Next Level Book Club, and it's always there as well.
So how do
And
you know when you started? Like when did y'all start that book?
we start, so this is our second week. We meet this
Okay.
Wednesday. And what we do is we read 15 pages a day for 5 days. So 75 pages a week. So this week we'll be on 150. But it's a very easy read. And if you're a little behind, it's okay. At least you could come in and hear some of the discussion. So what we do on that meeting is everyone talks about what their takeaway is. So why we do that is because when you're reading 75 pages a week, someone might bring up something, because this we're reading a book a month on average, right? So it's a lot, and so sometimes you forget some of the things. So it's like, Chris Merrick will bring up, like, this is one of his takeaways, and you're like, oh yeah, that was one of mine too. That was good. So it just kind of reiterates and drives the book home. in that conversation. So everyone just kind of shares their takeaway. We share if we like the book, we don't like the book, what we, so we've had probably 3 books that we really didn't like that we read. And so we'll talk about that. And so people just kind of, use real world situations and say, hey, this is how it applies to my life. So it's really good. We've been doing it, I think 6 years. I think we started back in maybe 7 years. I think 2019 we started doing this book club, and we've read, maybe 200 books, which most people have not read 2 books, except for doctors. You guys read a lot of books because you guys are required for your continuing ed and all that other stuff for your license. So.
But not like this. This is books that help you for life. So
Yeah, and, and
everything's
so
books,
that
so it's very different.
yeah, that's what I tell people. Like these books are things that will take your life to the next level. And what I say about these books is what I love about reading now. I started this book club 7 years ago for my own accountability because I wasn't reading consistently, and so I had like 70 employees at the time, and I had a kickoff meeting, and I just said, would anybody want to do a book club with me? And my entire team raised their hand. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. And so we started reading this, and when I realized reading every day, when it becomes a habit, it's almost like going to the gym. You feel off if you don't do it, but it also resets your mind for the morning. Because I do mine right when I wake up. I meditate and I read. But you're having a conversation with an author that's got 30 or 40 years of experience that they put in 270 pages. And so when you're having that conversation with the author and you're reading what that author is, you don't have ego because you're by yourself. So when the author is pointing something out that you should do better, like a habit or a mindset or something like that, you can sit there and be like, yeah, that's me. I do that. Like this morning, the small talk, there was something in there he was talking about small talk, and I was like, I definitely violate that. I do exactly what it's saying, and I'm going to change that and make sure I don't do that anymore. So it's really, really good. But great question, Dr. Catherine. Look forward to seeing you. You are now committed. We'll see you every week at 1 o'clock on Wednesday.
Okay.
Daisy.
Hi, Jay. Good evening and good evening.
Hey, and listen, I always make this statement. If you guys want to speak Spanish and you're more comfortable, I have an interpreter. So don't feel like you can't ask a question because you speak Spanish. I can completely understand your question and you can hear me in Spanish. So whatever you're most comfortable with, I'm comfortable with.
Okay. My question, I'm here in Florida, by the way. My question, and I'm from Rachel team.
Nice.
My question is, we know that we're gonna find a different kind of people doing this business, but what could be a good balance to know when is too much pushing, when people is left behind? Like some people start like, okay, very with a lot of emotions, and sometimes and that's something that is worries me sometimes because some people it's hard sometimes to believe on themselves. Like if they don't have the results fast, sometimes that's they get like. So my question is like, how is a good balance to okay continue talking to that person or feeling that you're bothering them, feeling that you want that they achieve the successful too. How you do that? What is a good balance on?
It's a great question, Daisy. So what I like to do is put the ball in their court. I would ask them that exact question. I would pose that exact question to them. Like, listen, I don't want to bother you, but I want to help you. And are you okay with me helping you? Because I feel like, maybe you're a little discouraged or, maybe you thought the results were going to come faster. Like everything you just said to me, like have that conversation with someone and put the ball in their court and let them tell you what they want, right? If they're like, I'm really not interested, I don't want to do anymore, then don't waste your time, right? But if they're like, no, I need the pressure, I'm busy, and most people are going to come up with excuses and say, I've got this going on, I've got this going on, and this going on. And so that's what's going to happen. But just have the conversation with people. This is the problem in any business, right? I mean, even in my insurance agency, my financial services agency, we've become a society with AI and with internet and with phones and devices that can answer any question in seconds for us of immediate results. And when people don't have immediate results, it doesn't work. And that's why I talk to you guys about the 2-10-1. like having a conversation with, can you commit to talking to 2 people every single day? Can you commit to coming to some training every day? Because that's what it's, in 2 years, and I ask people this question. So in 2 years, if you could be making $5,000 a week, would it be worth you committing to talking to 2 people every day? If in 2 years you can make $5,000 a week, it's $20,000 a month, right? I spoke last week at this luncheon, and I asked people in the room, how much money would you like to make every single month to make you feel like you're living the life of your dreams? And this one guy said $10,000, and I was like, that's $2,500 a week. In this business, if you talk to 1 person a day, you can make $2,500 a week in 2 years. Like, you could do that, right? So it's just having that conversation and kind of seeing where people are and asking the questions of, what's got you discouraged? Why isn't that going? And then when they say, well, no one's saying yes to me, everyone's not interested. Well, tell me what let's role play. Tell me how you're talking to them. How are you talking to people? Because what you're going to find out, you guys, when you talk to people and say, recruit me, talk to me, what you're going to find out is the way that they're talking to people is not a way that people are going to say yes to them. Right? They're just not talking about the advice. The reason they're not having success is because they don't know how to talk about the business, or they're puking on people about the business. So just dig in and spend a little time. Now, I will tell you, what you guys have to understand is that 20% of the people that you bring into this business will do something. 80% are not going to do anything. And you got to know when to put them in the 80% and when to put them in the 20%. And that's who you got to focus on. You got to focus 80% of your time on the 20% of the people that are going to give you 80% of your production. I'm going to say that one more time. You got to focus 80% of your time on the 20% of people that are going to give you 80% of your production. Most people do the opposite. Most people spend 80% of the time on the 80% of the people that aren't going to give you any production. That's every business, you guys. So you want to focus on the 20%. Now, I like to give people a chance, right? I'm going to have that conversation that I'm telling you to have with the person that you're talking about. Have that conversation with them and see where they are. And then when they tell you, they're either going to go the 80% bucket or they're going to go the 20% bucket. So I hope that was helpful. I don't see you. Maybe I lost you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Daisy. Anna.
Thank you so much, Jay. I have a question in relation to the platform. I'm in Ecuador, and it's not one of the main countries. So putting somebody in the platform, enrolling somebody can take 3 hours, because you have to give the address of the courier, and then it doesn't match with the address of the card because they're Ecuadorians. And I'm spending this whole amount of time and then I have to call the call center to see if the provinces of Ecuador can be included. So there's a technological challenge that I wanted to understand better, because it's I know that I could go faster, but I really spend a lot of time, and maybe I just have to wait until the country becomes.
Well, we're working on a lot of time, very, very hard. Esteban's in Ecuador, so that's a big country that we're working on, and we're also working on creating a company that can kind of do all of that work for you, so that we'll have a system for it until they get launched in those countries. But I would tell you that they hear from me every day about LATAM, and getting in Colombia and Ecuador and Costa Rica and all the countries that we know that we can blow up. So just be patient with that, and we're also working on a workaround so that it can be easier for you guys. But I hear you. I know it's not the easiest in the world, Anna, and I appreciate you still working on it, because it still can change people's lives. And I know it's time consuming, and it's not optimal, but we're working on it.
And because the only way that at the end works is when they become brand partners, but there's people who don't want to be brand partners. They really want it just to be customers. So there's this whole challenge additionally to the way that it would work.
But it's a lot better for them to be a brand partner. Ultimately in the end, if they're gonna share it and be able to get it for free. You're a brand partner. You can get your device free by just bringing people into the business and getting commission. You can get yours free. So you bring 5 people in and you're getting yours free every month into the business. So it's definitely advantageous for them, especially in our organization, the way it's growing. So if you can talk them into doing the core, it's definitely advantageous for everyone. It's a win-win, and plus they're getting into something that's gonna, when this Code of Creation movie comes out, worldwide, it's gonna create a massive, massive movement. You guys, we're like, we're at the bottom phase of when Uber started out, and I remember thinking, this is never gonna work, and now look at Uber. They're like the one of the biggest companies in the world. So we just got to be a little patient. I know that's not the answer you want, but we're working on it. I promise, Anna.
Well, thank you so much. And also the right and left leg. I thought that the system could be easier. Just, you know, one left, one right, and but then you have to go in, or else you have to write, or else you have to call. I feel that it's like I can't because I
Yeah.
have to like
So
have in my mind all of these details. I
Well,
wish it
so
was just
so the thing
automatic.
is about that, Anna, is let's just say, for example, so I have some pretty strong people on my right leg, right? If the system automatically did it, like I'm building my left leg right now because I had some superstars on my right. So if it just alternated automatically, then it wouldn't. Some people's business is different. So the company just wants to give you control to be able to put that person where you want to put them. If not, if it was automated, then you would lose control, and then it would be even more of a hassle for everybody. So it just depends. Like if you're just starting your business, I mean, you have no idea who's going to do what, who's going to do what. But as that business grows, it could change, and now all of a sudden, I need to build my right leg because my left leg is strong, and I got to build my right leg so that I can make more money. So it just depends. I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, but there's no way to do it because
Okay.
then we would have control taken away from us.
And what's the difference then between what type of people should be in the right and what type of people should be in the left?
Anna, it's a great question. I remember when I started, the reason I have such a right leg is because I put two powerful people, but I didn't know they were going to be powerful until they started the business,
Okay.
right? So, I mean,
Okay.
you want your legs to be balanced, right? You want your volume to be balanced on your right and your left. So, but you never know who's going to come in and just do a great job. So, I mean, you might be that one person away from somebody that's doing $1 million of volume a month, right?
Ay,
So
ay,
we just
ay, ay.
we don't know. So there's no science to it whatsoever. Besides, I'm gonna just try to build balance, and if something takes off, then I gotta change my focus and be like, okay, I'm gonna build my right leg so that I can balance my left leg.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
so
much.
welcome. Juan Carlos, I'm gonna do one more question, real quick. It's 8 o'clock, and I gotta let my interpreter go. I can't hear you. No audio. Just you want to put it in the chat real quick, Juan Carlos? Evelyn, can you
Sí,
read that for me?
sí, él pregunta,
Yes,
sí, ¿cuál es nuestra
yes, he's
responsabilidad frente a las
asking, what's
personas con
our
las que recomendamos el
responsibility or
patch?
accountability when we recommend a patch?
What's our accountability or responsibility when we recommend the patch? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Sí, sí, agrega, porque hay personas que si algo
He's
les
adding
pasa,
because
le
some
echan la
people,
culpa
if
a los que
something
no
happens to them,
conocen.
they
Él
blame
sí
you
se
because
refiere
they
más
don't
a
know.
lo que
So
la
he's referring to
reinfección,
what could
es
happen as
decir,
a
cómo es la
reaction to the
postura que se
patch.
debe de tomar
What
hacia el patch
is the
nosotros.
position that we must take ahead with when that happens?
I mean, I, I've never heard of anybody having a bad reaction to the patch. I mean, the patch is only using your own body's resources. There's no chemicals, there's no stimulants, there's no drugs going into their body. So the patch is not going to do anything to anybody. I mean, it's just using your light to elevate your natural resources in your body. As far as that would
Can
be
I
like
go
you
in? Can
recommending.
I answer something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Catherine.
Okay, so yes, there's no medicine, there's nothing in there, but it is really important that when you're offering this to someone, you are telling them to drink water, and that sometimes when your body is getting used to this, you might get a headache, you might get a little dizzy.
That's
Because if you
good.
don't explain things to people, then people just say, oh, the patch costs me to have a headache and it's bad for me. So you need to make sure that you learn, the detox process and things like that in our calls. So you explain to people, and that way people know, and you don't just do a transaction, sell it, see you later, and you don't talk to people. If you follow up with people, but nothing's going to be dangerous. So there's no responsibility because there's no medicine. So they'll never have a side effect or something dangerous, I can tell you medically, but they might have their body reacting to it and they need to learn to drink more water and things like that. So your responsibility is no, there's nothing bad that's going to happen, but your responsibility is to make sure that you educate people on what is happening to their body and how to use it correctly.
Great answer, Dr. Catherine. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Kati, do you have something quick?
Sí, sí, porfa. Buenas tardes.
Yes, please.
Mi
Good
pregunta
evening.
es de qué
Okay, my
depende
question is,
que a unas
what
personas les haga
the
más
what
efecto más rápido y a otras no. Digo, yo soy nueva, es mi
how come
primera
the patch
aplicación,
has more
pero
effects
ahorita
on
escuchando a
some
las
people
demás,
than others? It
digo,
happens
¿de qué
faster.
depende que
What does
una
that
persona haga
depend
una
on? I'm
reacción más
new here,
rápido
but
que a otra?
why do some people have a faster
Algo así.
reaction than others? I don't know.
Dr. Catherine?
Sure. ¿De qué depende? Depende del cuerpo
What does
humano.
it
Todos
depend
los
on? It
cuerpos
depends
somos
on the human
diferentes, todos
body.
somos hechos diferentes,
Everybody is
tenemos
different.
genética
We're all
diferente.
made
Entonces es muy
differently. We
importante que tú
have a
le digas
different
a las personas
structure.
eso,
So
que
it's
tú no
very
puedes
important for you to
decir
say
toma
that
tus
to
malditos
people,
días en
that
3
you
días, en
can't
5
say it's going
días,
to
en
work
20
in
días,
two
no sé.
days, in
Yo
three
lo que le digo
days,
a la
in
gente es yo
20
no tengo ni
days.
idea de cómo
No,
va a
that's
funcionar
what
tu
I tell
cuerpo.
people. I have
Te
no
puedo decir
idea
cómo
how this is
funciona mi
going to work
cuerpo,
in your
pero todos
body.
somos
I can
diferentes.
tell you
Entonces, ¿de
how
qué
it works in
depende? Pues sí, hay gente
mine,
que tiene mucha
but we're all
inflamación, a
different.
veces funciona
So
más
what does it
rápido,
depend on? Some people
pero
have more
por eso es que le digo a
inflammation,
todo el mundo, no te
others
estreses,
don't, and that's why it
90
works
días.
faster. That's why I say
Yo sé a
minimum
la
3 months,
gente que
90
hace un
days to
commitment de
everybody.
90 días,
So people
puede
make a
ser que
90-day
funcione algo antes,
commitment.
pero si le
Maybe
dices
you feel
eso,
something before
no
that,
estamos
maybe not,
prometiendo algo
but we're
rápido.
not promising
Ok.
anything fast.
Después en otra le
Okay.
preguntaré por qué
Oh,
dos en esto,
afterwards, I wanted to ask
pero ya será después. Gracias.
a different question, but I'll ask it in another moment. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great evening, guys. So good to see all of you. Have a great night.